All right. Well, we got Michigan in the house. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, yo. It's BizCon 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely where we're at.
That's where we're at, man. And you are an event connoisseur and host in Michigan. And I'm curious to get your opinion on an event like this. Do you think something this big could happen in Michigan?
You know, back in, I want to say 2014, 15, 16, maybe all the way to 18, High Times used to do the Cannabis Cup in a little town called Clio in Michigan. It was on a racetrack, but that was like full consumption. They had the competitions and everything still. This is like in a time where licensing, at least in Michigan, wasn't necessarily out there yet, so there's still tons of gray area. Those events were massive for the community and massive for the culture. And then obviously COVID hit and things declined and consumption stopped, and the High Times did their thing, so that event doesn't exist anymore. But the people are hungry for that type of event.
Yeah, Josh is bringing it back. I just spoke with him yesterday. And Josh from Raw, he just recently acquired High Times, and one thing at a time, right? I think they're igniting the magazine portion, of course, first. And it sounds like they're going to be bringing some events back as well. But they want to do it right. I think he actually said the first High Times event post-acquisition is going to be in New York City.
There's two states that are doing it right now, at least on the event side, on the community side, and it seems to be New York and Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'll stand always behind Michigan we are the number one, and we are innovating, and I will put anybody's weed, any state's weed up against our best cultivators any day of the week, and I'll watch them burn. But, you know, we're in a unique place where a lot of this culture just isn't being shown as much. You know, there's a lot of greedy money grabs and people that just want to make X amount of dollars off certain things. But money comes when you put in good effort and have the right mindset to get to the people, right? So my events, they're collaborative efforts. They're professional events. They're not competitions. I don't want anybody going head to head with each other. I'd rather have company X with this license and company Y with that license come together, make something special for the event. Right? And that only those 1,400 people that are there are able to experience that special.
And that's still a lot of people. Oh, I mean, 1,400 people, you're not going to be able to meet everyone in that night.
I do the best I can. I definitely walk around, I'm smiling, I say hello to everybody. Jerome over here, you could probably say so. Jerome hasn't made it over, but some of these other guys that have been to my events, like they will see me out there. I'm front and face center. Like I will greet every single person that walks through that door. I'll shake every single person's hand and I'll say hello to every single person because everybody matters. You know, for my events, in order for those things to be successful and to continue on past the expiration date that we might be seeing here right now, we have to first continually innovate, but we also have to continually increase the attendee experience. And if we can continually increase the attendee experience, we'll draw the attendees. When the attendees come, the sponsors come, I can be able to pay for the events, I can continue to elevate, I can continue to innovate. And the hall that we use is a really cool place. It's called the Crowfoot in Pontiac, and there's a main ballroom. It's got a stage, so it's a concert hall. They'll fit 1,000 people in the concert hall, but there's a front lobby, there's a Verner's room, there's an upstairs balcony, there's an upstairs room. So we have 5 different places that we can activate. So every single time these people come to my events, and we've done 6 of them up to now, it can be the same person going to all 6, but they're going to see something new every single time they walk around.
I love that. Well, bringing it back to Michigan, I went out there about 2 or 3 years ago. We did an entire Cannacribs and Deep Roots tour. I was out there for 1 month. Felt the love immediately. Day one I flew in was July 4th. We went right from the airport directly to Torch Lake.
It's a great party lake.
Sam Usman, we went out on his boat, and it was just, again, it was magical, man. Like, I did not understand why. That was my first time to Michigan. I didn't understand the Michigan culture before going there.
I'm glad you used that word, the culture. You know, we're a different breed of people. I think just Midwesterners in general are a different breed of people. We deal with the cold, we deal with the snow, where most of us come from automotive backgrounds, at least our parents, you know, with the big 3 and all the manufacturing. So we have hardened ourselves, and we just have this go mentality that we need to, when we have something on our plate, we want it off our plate. And not only do we want it off our plate, but we want it organized and we want it to be the best that it can be.
That's
so the guys, our caregivers, our guys that came up from 09 to 16 before they jumped into the license market, like, we all grinded, we all put our heads down. We did what we could for the community, for ourselves first, obviously, and then for the community. And it's just kind of who we are as a people is we want these collaborative efforts. We want to be able to work together. And I'm kind of going off subject here with culture, but the way that we're going to be able to sustain moving forward, especially licensed cultivation, is creating collaboration.
Yeah.
And like cross collaborating with another company that maybe is a competitor, but they don't have to be a competitor. They can also be your ally, right? And that's how we beat the corporate machine, is we collaborate. We bring things together. I think of High Tech and Growing Pains. There's two of the biggest brands in our state right now. They just did a limited chocolate and Seth and Tom over at Growing Pains. They just did a collaboration of their Honey Banana and Lance, right? Those were two ZA Olympics winners. And They made one special drop of 130 jars of just that combination. So those types of collaborations where they're competition, especially two guys at the top of the food chain, but they're trying to elevate each other still, right? They're bringing themselves together. I think of the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce analogy, right? You got the Swifties and you got the NFL heads. Well, now Swifties are starting to watch football, and now some of these NFL heads have wives or girlfriends that are Swifties, and now they're getting into that side, right? So it's this cross collaboration of branding. Advanced Nutrients and Grow World, right? Or Jack Hare and Grow World, and
right.
Like we're all in here together doing this collaborative stuff.
Yeah, the collaboration happens at the top, competition happens at the bottom.
Exactly, and the collaboration is what is going to drive sustainability and survivability. We as Michigan right now, we are under some huge stresses with these taxes, that they're trying to enact. We're going through lawsuits. It's already been signed into legislation, so it's going to happen. We're just hoping the lawsuits work. But we have to figure out creative ways to be able to survive. So that way the hedge funds, when they come in, they're going to come in and buy everybody up. But if we've already collaborated, made a really good brand for ourselves, we control our own supply and demand curve. We don't get to the point where we're too big, and we're not at the point where we're too small to sustain. We find that happy medium. That's what's going to help us in Michigan survive.
Yeah, and let's go a little bit deeper into your events in Michigan. What's coming up in 2026, and what makes them unique as well? I know you guys are doing about 2 to 3 events per year.
We're up to 4 right now, so we do 1 per quarter.
Okay.
The next one is going to be January 30th. It's called Frost and Fire. We're going to have one May 2nd, which is the Growers Gala, which is our signature event.
Right.
I'll make the announcement now. This is the first time I'm saying it in public, but we're going to actually treat that like a gala.
Okay.
We're going to do Dress to Impress.
Nice.
We're going to do a red carpet. And we're going to drive a lot of charity within that event. We're going to try to raise a lot of money as much as we can in a 4-hour period.
Is there a beneficiary in mind?
Exactly. No, not in mind yet. No. Okay. My wife and I have kind of been going back and forth between like drug addiction recovery, that type of stuff, or even like St. Jude's or something like that. But we have to be careful of who will accept our money, right?
Yeah.
Some people, some companies, some high-end publicly traded companies will have struggled taking on charitable donations, if you will, from cannabis money. So that's kind of what we're looking at, doing something like that, doing something for the vets. Like we're trying to figure out like what is the best kind of avenue for that one. But beyond that, then we'll have another one July 24th, and our final one of the year next year will be the Metric Mash again, which we just concluded in October this year.
Okay. Excellent. And, kind of merging of the two communities, do you see a lot of Michigan representation out here at MJBiz?
Surprisingly more than I expected. Yeah, and I honestly, I've seen a lot more people than I anticipated. I know there's a couple that just came for the one day, and then they're flying back home. But the planes were still full. Coming out here, and it was all cannabis people on the planes. So there definitely is still a group of us that come out here, and it's cold, man. It just snowed 6 inches before I left, and if we can come get the ounce of 54 degrees and a little bit of sunlight on our skin, we're gonna take it, because we got 3 months of shit coming ahead of us.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing one of your Michigan events here during the week of MJBiz and, kind of bringing those communities together?
I've had those thoughts, and the thoughts are always like, how can I move this out of state and continue these types of things out of state? It's hard to take Michigan mad and go into California throw an event, right? Like, so it's finding the right collaborators, finding the right people in the right states that have those types of connections for their community. Like, I have my community, right? Like, I know my Michigan guys. I got my Michigan guys out there. I can pull on those guys at any time. I don't know the Cali guys. I don't know the Nevada guys, right? I don't know New York guys. So one of my ways of continuing to push expiration date is figuring out how we can expand. And the first thought that we've had, at least moving into 2026, is that we were going to start live streaming our events, so that way we can get out to the masses. I spoke with some YouTubers, have hundreds of thousands of followers. They can get 10,000 live viewers at a time. And we just want to live stream the entire event so the whole world can see what we're doing. And in my opinion, Michigan, we are, it's Michigan and California. Like we're right here back and forth, right?
Coke and Pepsi, as I like to say.
Yeah, we're trading shots back and forth. And in my opinion, we, because of the way that we work and the way that we grind and the way that we continually also try to innovate within the grow, I and my personal biases, obviously, I see Michigan as a step in the direction where this community needs to be going.
Yeah. So what is the DNA of a Michigan grower? Like, what do they prioritize? What do they not care about? Let's get into the mind of the Michigan grower.
There's nothing we don't care about.
Okay.
Right? The Michigan grower is a problem solver.
Yeah.
Like, we're out there, we're solving problems. We're figuring out how to get the crop to the next level, how to increase our terpenes, how to increase our numbers, and continually bringing fire. Like that's still the number one goal. I think most of us that are out there, we started in the caregiver market.
Right.
We are home growers and
Patients
growing in a
first.
basement. Patient first. That's the only laws that we had to work within too between 2009 and 18. But a lot of us came up through that caregiver market, and we've learned who each other are through there. And then now we're watching ourselves in 2018 on and progressing into the license stages. And if you look at my attendee banners, like, most of the dudes on those banners had been caregivers at one point, right? They started something back at 2000, early 2010s, and they put their head, like I said earlier, put the head down and they grind and they figured it out, right? That was a period of time where it was still kind of sketchy to go on the internet to look things up. It was you were worried about, like, there was this theoretical list that was out there that if you had all 6 patients for your caregivers, Michigan's got some weird laws, but if you had all 5 patients, so you could grow 72 plants at once, that you go on this list, and the list is, the cops have the list, they know who has their plant counts max, so they know who to raid first, right? So there's all these like theoretical
I've
things.
never heard of that.
Oh, it's not necessarily something that was actually out there or not,
Right, but it
like
could
this
have
is
been.
something that it could have definitely
Yeah.
been. But this is something that the community would be like, we all knew about it a little bit, so we wouldn't, maybe we go to 4 patients, not 5, like we did little things to like try to stay off the list.
Right.
Because we're still trapping at the end of the day. Like, there's so much gray area. We have plant count as our restriction, not square footage. So when they tell us that we can only grow 72 plants, well, we're going to grow 72 plants under 72 lights. Exactly. We're going to get 2-3 pounds off a plant when we're only allowed to have 15 ounces at a time.
Yeah.
Right. So like, there's so much of this gray area, which is like kind of nice that licensing came in. I'm a family guy. I got wife, kids. I don't want to look over my shoulder and go to jail. So making the transition into the license market was an easy choice for me. But I wouldn't have been able to get there and be able to do the events that I'm doing without those 10 years of grinding through that trap scene.
Yeah. When we went to go film the Michigan market, one of the facilities we filmed was Heavyweight Heads. And that was actually the first time I saw like massive outdoor plants, but inside. Just like one room just stacked.
Yeah, it's
man.
like whenever
like
I tour
plants.
some grows in Michigan, one of the first things I can tell, I'm like, you were a caregiver once, weren't
Yes,
you? Because there's like just a
100%.
couple of these things that like you'll see and be like, I know where you learned that.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was like 10 years ago. We evolved too. Like, that's the other thing is there's some of these guys that get really stuck, right? They know it all. They get stuck in their way. But if you walk up to them and you ask them why they're doing something, they can't answer it. And if you can't answer why, then why are you doing it? Like,
Right.
I tell my guys, I'm like, you guys should be able to come up to me and ask me why on every single process that we do within the grow. And if I can't answer that question, we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Let's talk about content creators. I know Michigan's full of YouTubers and, really popular breeders on Instagram. How are they driving the consumer expectations at the end of the day?
I don't know how necessarily the breeders are necessarily driving the consumer. I think the breeders are extremely important for us to be able to continue to have new strains and new things that pop up, right? Yeah, in this Michigan scene where the demand, the supply has way outweighed the demand, we have to continually find new strains, find the hottest thing for the market, right? But it's also a prediction thing and a foresight thing, right? Because what we're going to grow today and start today isn't going to come to fruition for 4 months. So you got this 4-month span where a lot can change in that period of time. So I think that's really what those kind of influencers and breeders are doing out there. Is they're pushing the right way. But it's continue again. I keep you coming back to the word innovating, right?
Yeah.
We have to continue to create new and excite the market.
Yeah. And, traveling around to different markets like Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Germany, everyone talks about Cali genetics, right? But I know in my heart, and I know you share this sentiment, they're going to start talking about Michigan genetics. I mean, you guys absolutely throw down. Are you seeing, some Michigan growers or breeders kind of making their rounds to the international markets?
I don't know too much about the international side of things, but one guy that comes to mind is Mobile J and his Bean Fiends, and like Super Boof, right? That Super Boof cut came from Michigan. So that was a Michigan guy that bred that, put that together, and now it's everywhere. There's a few other ones I'm sure I'm missing, some bigger ones. Skunk House, Skunk Master Flex, right?
He's out of Michigan as well?
He's out of Michigan too. He's out in Hazel Park, but that's the Donnie burger, the Han Solo burger.
That's right.
He found the original GMO. That was Mimico seeds. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but he was like the finder of GMO, and another great name, and he's out there doing it, and he's putting great work out. So I'm not sure how it affects necessarily the international market, but people are starting to turn and look at us and see Michigan in a different light now. Yeah.
I know we were hanging out with CMS Cap and the whole advanced team out in Berlin, and it's so cool to see a market kind of in the beginning days. And
kind of miss that.
Yeah, I do. I spoke about that a lot. I was chatting with Mike in some of our interviews, and there's just so much excitement, before everything kind of gets, driven into the ground, and it's exciting to see that there's still markets coming online, even today.
Yeah, even if it is overseas, and everything that I've heard about Mary Jane is culture.
Yeah,
right. There's a ton of culture out there, which is great, and there's so much excitement going around, and that's really what we've been missing over the past 5-10 years now, is that extra excitement, especially here in Vegas at BizCon.
It's getting a little depressing, like we don't have as many people showing up, or maybe they're struggling and they can't fly out here, right? Like we were talking about the expenses.
But then you get some superstars too. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some fucking big names in the fucking house.
Let's go. Good, brother. How are you doing? What's up, man? Good to see you. Good, man. Yeah, we're holding it down for Michigan right here.
We were just talking about the whole high-tech growing pains collaboration, right? And we need that collaboration in this space. You guys might be competitors, but at the end of the day, we're still friends.
We collaborate up here,
right? Ryan, Harbor Farms is here now. Like we got some like guys in the building, and like bringing two brands together that wouldn't necessarily work together, like we said earlier, is going to stop that corporate takeover.
Yep.
Like it's going to stop those big guys from coming in and taking us out, because you're going to create new SKUs. You can do things to help push and help your own brands out.
We have to hold the line. That's what it's about.
100%.
Come together, hold the line, and again, I can't keep bringing it back to events, but that's why we're here, right? Like this event brings us out, brings everyone together, and what you have in Michigan as well. I mean, once per quarter is perfect.
We're not saturated. I see there's some other YouTubers here too. Like we got some guys in the house that have been to my events and seen the things that we're doing, and we're family run, we're family operated. We don't take corporate on, right? Like everybody's got the best interest for myself and for our guests that come in the door, but we also have the best interest for the sponsors, right? Like the sponsors are putting money into these things so they happen. One thing that we do that this expo does not do is we put a case of water on every table.
Oh man!
Everybody gets a basket when they walk in with some snacks. We do catering at our event before the other sponsors and attendees come in at 5:00. We do a round of food for them from our caterers, so they get served food at their tables.
Right.
We take care of the sponsors because the sponsors are taking care of the attendees, right? By giving me the money to be able to put the shows on, so people can come in and have fun. So
it's an ecosystem.
It is.
Everyone's got to eat,
and we're all working within each other and helping each other. It's the wheel, right? The wheel has all these different spokes on it. If one spoke comes off, then the wheel's going to be wobbly. So we need those spokes to all work together in order for that wheel to turn.
Yeah, 100%. Well, thank you guys for coming out. As we're wrapping up here, what can the Michigan market expect from you next year?
More innovation. I
Yes.
hear that word again, right? Like, we got some really exciting things to plan for our next events. But for me personally, I'm also in cultivation, and we had our first harvest under my new cultivation yesterday.
Congrats.
So being able to bring my flower back to the market now too, I'm excited for. But for the most part, it's taking these events, taking them to a whole nother level, figuring out how a person can walk into a room and see something they haven't seen before.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you for doing what you do in Michigan. And hopefully next year we can get a Michigan event out here. That would be pretty dope.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. And thank you for Michigan, guys. I see you well. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thanks. Let's get it.
Thanks, guys.